Kwan so mama kwa bemra odi asampa TV. Oso mfo odi asampa ni. Twedi ampa da roma emi oni ahwe enwe de megidi se ho eye. Abusia abrani abrebia na ya na me video a. Sometimes aya na esom ahodro no niam bi a omoye e de condemn yen abibifo ye ne ye our way of life say ne faso didie ne ade and ye politicians no anka omo say omo na omo kuta PhD any degree holder na ho nkeka ho nti a yenya Osman Osahwan yes we kuta PhD in journalism when to me anya investigation bia antumi hu obi ko bisa na kwa mebedi akose onkuta PhD onkuta degree bia na so oba bedi o my Ghana enim na oba den wadi enim no and ye wonimdi ahodo bi wo ho no ma anka this so called politicians no I don't know say bi omo hu nso and because of politics say ne be ya ombenya the masses na tumi control mo no mo hu say ho na masses na adwe akodi enti no omo so omo follow that trend no say ye dey enti a untumi hu anka wo so omo mpo e no omo so omo sua ade matena amanfo nkuro so ehun hyehyɛ ne niam bi e koso e wo ho no so omo hu sa ade no omo nya hu then so we obi e wo follow me acha wa hwe me videos ahodo a da bia me ka kyerɛw especially say ye nua no time duru a ne aso aye ho say ye kɔ Mecca e ho na Nyankopɔn te nti ye kɔ bompa ye e ma ye president His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Kraka say watete Hajj fair so nti omo nkɔ the Holy Land na omo nkɔ bompa ye na ye Ghana ha na omo na de e ye devil land and there be amekacho say sa de we no e ade a omo ye just to boost their economy over there ye ma mu de yenya enhuye now ye nua ba ko Ali Mustafa Sisi oye Muslim scholar wasua Quran no wa wurawura ni nompemu nintinim ni mojamu ni bibia computer anka yese chese wa wura ba bia asi and bro some information and secret be out and this information no information be as a one kasa no enya religion no na edidi wadwen nemum na ye bia for jana ka bibi se yansom Nyankopɔn wo nimdie mu na enye ye kan say tiwie mu. We should worship God in wisdom but not in ignorance. Inti onono ni nchiremu ene ni bibia ode ba no based on the Quran, history of the Quran, the hadith and whatever, because oyobia oye scholar in Muslims religion and obro secret ahodo. We share video here am say that we dey me kwa metena so enye yi. I was me ni odi asampa ahwefo nso. Ye hina ye hwebi. Na ye de toto niam bi ho ne adwe ho kwa akiri. Na dewro a mebo so wonso wusom na wunu abi susom a ebeboa ema African liberation na ye hwehwe no. Ye hina ye ho betoye titiri o my Ghana. Wo hwe ne ekoso wo Nigeria. Ni nyina no one osom ehon samsam tribal differences na afi nso no eye politics na say oman no oman a trade ampon ache omo all the resource name it we are seeing here e dey develop being it technology being it whatever no omo na komede omo and ne janso kra wo mu ne say nipa asumdwe a obenya so kra na ontumi nya pase ye benya nte ase wo sa ne ma we nyina mu na afi no ya dwen baba fie na yebenya ye ho nte ase ni ehun se bibini eni ni nua bibini eye ba akọ ye kan ye ho bom a the resource na ye kuta no ye betumi e de aye bibi e de ama ye ho na ye hunya hu sa de we hina na oboa ye yese ye de ye ho babom se den enye ye me no ka say Nigeria for ye pre African unity enye sa ECOWAS ne African one na eguo no say nchirima na eba no ba bete sa ne ma na ase ne aka ye ho abom no afi na Nigeria kra de ye pre say ye betiti ye mu oba Ghana kra na youth bebre na kuta sa ideology na ankasa bi omunya penyin kwase bi na oja champions ade na ombedi na chi Western region ha ye bi commander no so an Western region na hwe Ghana yin na also Western region to no the same thing and na akwa Kumasi am kwa de o maka ma na pie an I was asante 40 om ho we nyina na ade a separation ni ade no se ya ante sa ne ma na se a emwa man no entumi ko nanim ahayo dia sympathy wada ma onya subscribe to channel na mesro so be subscribe ma from Mecca busuaku na se ne be di video for tuma on sa be ka bi no ahwe afei yenua no yenkonkotie ba sa na ye be kon mesro e bia na wo yare diabetes asthma hepatitis B stroke na etete wa awo ho da adwene ha opa de am se odi asempa me mitu sia na ma chelesie we ye fra na abro asekan sa de we a hai fibroid aduro kese esan so eye awo aduro e ban sa o me ma sa modi anuro ni de bebre kwa nti o ne obe answer obe fa number na egu ase ho no 054330496 yenkonkotie ebra anumra
for everything. When the realities of life are uncovered, change is a must. We are still on the expose of the last self-acclaimed Abrahamic religion, Islamic religion for that matter. In the previous video, we told you what happened. You see, we are breaking it down. We want you to really get the whole idea and know that this is a lie and this is how it has been cooked and this is how it has been prepared. I believe this is your first time of hearing exactly how Islamic religion is made. I believe this is your first time. Apart from the small preachings you hear from the Islamic scholars, the translators, I believe very well that this is the first time you are hearing everything into details how Islamic religion was made up by Arabians on desert that has fooled our people that every year we send money to their country. Yes. Now, the people of Mecca has decided to go with the last option, which was suggested by Abu Hakam, commonly known as Abu Jahl. Right. And when he suggested the idea, Diabolus, Iblis, Satan, Shaitan seconded him, and they all agreed upon that idea, and then they went home preparing to execute that plan. So the last option was to murder him, to kill him, and then everything will just end. This is the issue. Now, those that believed in only Quran cannot tell you that the last option was what the people opted to, because Quran never mentioned. Quran chapter number 8 verse 30, which has this which captured this activity or this scenario in a nutshell, never mentioned out of the three suggestions which one did the Arabians decided to go with. So those that believed in only Quran, what triggered the hijrah or the migration or the fleeing of Muhammad? Because it was they were refugees. What triggered it? Because Quran didn't mention. You can't say it was all the three. No, Quran didn't mention that it was the third one. So they agreed upon that, and then they picked the young men that they want to go and execute the plan. Now, the same book, the second older Sirah book, Asirat al-Nabawiyah, Ibn Hisham, page 89, now all the way to page 79, all the way to 80. Now, I have like 3 or 4 points to mention to you here. Point number 1. There's a caption here that says, Rasulullah, apostle of the deity Allah, Yastakhlif Aliyan, made Ali liyanama ala firashihi, made Ali to sleep on his bed. Yes. Now, how did that happen? Ibn Hisham says, Fa'ata Jibrilu alayhi salam, the entity called Jibril came to Muhammad, faqala, and he said to him, La tabit hazi laylata ala firashika alladhi kunta tabitu alayhi. Tonight, don't dare sleep on your bed that you usually sleep upon. Jibril came to tell him this. You see, Jibril came to warn Muhammad not to sleep on the bed he usually sleep on. But Jibril never came to fight Satan when he came to participate in the meeting in the house of assembly. Jibril never came to tell Muhammad that the enemy of all mankind, Diabolus, Iblis, Satan is in town. So go and fight him and finish him, so that all the mankind of the world will be free. Jibril never came to say that, but he came to tell Muhammad, don't sleep on your bed. So when Jibril came to say that, he says, فَلَمَّا كَانَتْ أَتَمَا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ, when it is late in the night, اجتمعوا على بابه يرصدون متى ينام فيثبون عليه. When it was late at night, the young men that were prepared to execute the murder came to the gate, the entrance of Muhammad. They were waiting for him to sleep. Then they would just rush onto him and execute their plan. فَلَمَّا رَأَى رَسُولُ اللَّهِ, when the apostle of Allah saw that, مَكَانَهُمْ, when he saw them at the entrance, قال لعلي بن أبي طالب, he said to Ali bin Abi Talib, who was a cousin, نم على فراشي وتسجع ببردي هذا الحضرمي الأخضر فنم فيه فإنه لن يخلص إليك شيء تقرأه منه. When he saw that, Muhammad said, Ali, come and sleep on my bed and use my green blanket to cover yourself, and they will never do anything to you. No harm shall come to you. They will not harm you. This is one of the bonus points for the Shia community, or for the Shia Muslims, or for the Shia sect to say that the best vicegerent, the best caliph after Muhammad's death is Ali. This is one of the points. This is one of the facts that made the Shia community thinks that Ali is supposed to be the caliph of Muslims after Muhammad, which is the reason of the huge, intense argument between Shia and Sunnah till date, that both of them see each other as if they are not unprofessional, they are not professional Muslims. Shias think Sunnis are not professional Muslims. Sunnis see the Shias equally the same. You see, Islamic religion is not one religion. Islamic religion is many. In various levels, Islamic religion vary. You see, in the scholarship level, there are different types of Islam. Yes. In the school of thought of the Hanbali school of thought, the Islam that has been portrayed within the domain of the Hanbali school of thought is different from the type of Islam that is portrayed in the Hanafi school of thought. The Islam that has been portrayed in the Hanafi school of thought differ from the Islam that has been portrayed in the Maliki school of thought. The Islam of Maliki school of thought is different from the Islam of Hanbali school of thought. This is the scholarship level. Now, the sectarian level. Shia Islam is not Sunni Islam. Sunni Islam is not Tijaniya Islam or Sufism Islam. No. So Islam vary. Sufi Tijaniya Islam is not Zaydiya Islam, another sect of Islam. Zaydiya Islam is not Ibadiya Islam, another sect of Islam. Ibadiya Islam is not Khawarij Islam, another sect of Islam. Khawarij Islam is not Mu'tazila Islam. This is the sectarian level. Now, the political level, listen and listen good. The political level. Now listen. Umayyad Islam is not the Abbasid Islam. The type of Islam that the dynasty of Umayyad portrayed and exhibited is entirely different from the type of Islam the Abbas dynasty exhibited. Trust me, the Islam of Republic of Iran is not the same Islam in Saudi Arabia. That is the political level. Now, the doctrinal level, the dogmatic level. Now listen. Sunni Islam is not Salafiyya Islam. Salafiyya is a sub of Sunnah, but the Salafis, their idea of Islam is different from the general Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So within the Sunnah domain, there is two different Islam. The idea of the Salafis is different from the idea of the rest of the Sunnis. Yes, That is the dogmatic aspect. Now listen, still with the dogmatic aspect, the Sufism is another part of Islam, another sect of Islam. Sufism in general contains Tijaniya, Qadiriya, Naqshbandiya, Idrisiya, Sammaniya, Al-Qattaniya. All these ones fall under Sufism. But trust me, the Tijaniya Islam is different from the Qadiriya Islam. The Qadiriya Islam is different from the Naqshbandiya Islam. The Naqshbandiya Islam is different from the Sanusiya Islam. The Sanusiya Islam is different from Idrisiya Islam. Islam vary, just that you do not know. Should I proceed? Let me add more for you. See, within the Tijaniya Islam, the Tijaniya Islam of followers of Sheikh Ibrahim, who are the people of Faida, which commonly known to us as Faila, is different from the main Tijaniya Islam. Because in Tijaniya, some of the Tijaniyas don't even agree that Sheikh Ibrahim is one of their sect. They do not even agree that Sheikh Ibrahim is the Sahibul Faida in Tijaniya. Some of the Tijaniyas don't agree. So, there is one Tijaniya scholar who reacted to one of the poems of Sheikh Ibrahim, the Senegalese, who reacted to his poems. When Sheikh Ibrahim says that, رَأَيْتُ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ جَهْرًا وَيَقْظَةً بِبَارِيسًا هَلْ ذَاكَ مَحَلُّهُ. When Sheikh Ibrahim said this, one of the Tijaniya scholars reacted, criticized him bitterly. When we get to the sect, we will read all these things and read the reactions to you. So within the Tijaniya Islam, yes, but within the Tijaniya Islam, the people of Faila are different from the remaining Tijaniya Muslims. When you go to some countries, the Tijaniyas don't respect Sheikh Ibrahim. They don't know him. They don't give a damn about Sheikh Ibrahim. In fact, Sheikh Ibrahim is enjoying his fame more in Nigeria and Ghana. Trust me. And somewhere like Togo. There are some countries, they don't give a damn about Sheikh Ibrahim. So, within Tijaniya, that is the point. Should I proceed with you? Now listen. Again, within the followers of Faila, the followers of Sheikh Ibrahim in Tijaniya, in Ghana here, there is a fraternity. There is Jallo fraternity and the rest of the Tijaniyas who are followers of Sheikh Ibrahim. Trust me, the Islam of Tijaniya of Jallo fraternity is different from the Islam of the rest of the Tijaniyas. This is the reality. But you don't know. Just look at all those things that I mentioned to you. Does it sound like the source of life is behind this nonsense? No. So, Ali sleeping on the bed of the fictional character Muhammad in the night that they came to kill him is one of the bonus that qualified Ali to be the leader of Muslims immediately after the demise of Muhammad, according to Shias. Now, he told Ali to sleep there. Still, we are reading Ibn Hisham, volume 2, page 79. Now, Ali slept on the bed. The blanket that Muhammad asked Ali to use to sleep is the same blanket, green color, that Muhammad used to sleep with. Now, this is how what happened, what transpired in the room. Now, let me take you to the second point I want to make with you. The point is, when they were standing at the entrance, when Muhammad prepared, the fictional character Muhammad prepared to go out, this is what happened. They reported so many issues and they said so many things. And then he says, one man report. That's now Asirat Nabawiyah Ibn Hisham, page 80. Now listen. Ibn Ishaq, the first narrator of Sirah, says, one person known as Yazid bin Zayad got this narration from Muhammad bin Ka'b al-Qurtubi, says, لما اجتمعوا له وفيهم أبو جهل. When the young man with sword came, the swordsman came to the entrance of Muhammad, Abu Jahl Abu al-Hakam was part of them. فقال وهم على بابه. He stood at the entrance and he said, Inna Muhammadan, according to Ibn Hisham, this is Abu Jahl speaking. Inna Muhammad yazumu annakum intabatumuhu ala amrihi kuntum muluk al-Arab wal-Ajam. Abu Jahl was telling the sourcemen that Muhammad is claiming that if you follow his teachings, you're going to be muluk al-Arab, the kings of Arabs and the kings of non-Arabs. Al-Ajam are non-Arabs. So it is about leadership. It is about control. It is about ruling people, right? Oh, wow. Because he said muluk, kings. And listen, this point here has traveled all the way in Islamic religion to extent that the Umayyad dynasty thinks that it is their right to be leaders of all Muslims of the world. Leadership supposed to be, Islamic leadership supposed to be restricted to Arabs. Yes, that is it. So when Abbasid took over, they have the same perception that they, the Arabs, supposed to lead the Muslims of the world. This is what it is about. Okay, now he says you people will lead Arabs and non-Arabs. And after that, when you die, you'll be resurrected. And then you'll be rewarded with jinan, heavens, paradise, like garden, or jinan, gardens, like the gardens of Jordan. The gardens of Jordan. This garden of Jordan issue is another thing. It's about a country which has existed and has everything, very beautiful and enjoyable country, which is known as Petra. We will discuss that one later because of the relationship it has with creation of Mecca and Medina. See, Mecca is never real. Mecca was created later. Medina was created later. When we start to discuss the fictional places in Islamic history, we will discuss Petra. Okay, now, وَإِن لَمْ تَفْعَلُوهُ, if you did not follow him, Muhammad is claiming that if you did not follow him, كَانَ لَكُمْ فِيكُمْ كَانَ لَهُ فِيكُمْ زَبْرٌ, if you do not follow him, he will slaughter you. كَانَ لَهُ فِيكُمْ ذَبْحٌ, he will slaughter you. If you do not follow him, he will slaughter you. ذَبْحٌ, he will slaughter you. ثُمَّ, after slaughtering you and killing you, بُعِثْتُمْ, you will be resurrected مِنْ بَعْدِ مَوْتِكُمْ, after your death. ثُمَّ جُعِلَتْ لَكُمْ نَارٌ, and then you will be put into fire, تُهْرَقُونَ فِيهَا, and you will be burnt into fire. So Abu Jahl said this to the swordsmen who are ready to go strike Muhammad on his bed. Now, Ibn Hisham, volume 2, page 80. Now, the other point I want to add to you is how Muhammad came out from his house. The caption says, Rasulullah, apostle of the deity Allah, yakhruju ala al-mushrikeen, he came out to pass through the associates, mushrikun, associates, the idol worshippers. Fayumillahu absarahum anhum, and Allah has blinded the swordsmen from seeing Muhammad. Oh yes, Allah blinded the swordsmen from seeing Muhammad. Allah could not see Satan, Diabolos, Iblis from participating in the meeting that is plotted to kill Muhammad. Allah couldn't do that. But Allah is able to blind the swordsmen who are coming to kill Muhammad. So Allah cannot do anything to Satan. Satan, Diabolos, is more stronger than Allah. Indeed, if you need a God to follow, I think you should rather follow Diabolos. Now, Qala, he says, وَخَرَجَ عَلَيْهِمْ Rasulullah, Muhammad came out, فَأَخَذَ حَفْنَةً مِنْ تُرَابٍ فِي يَدِهِ, and he fetched a sand from the ground. ثُمَّ قَالَ, and then he says, نَعْمْ أَنَا أَقُولُ ذَلِكَ, and then Muhammad said, yes. He was responding to what Abu Jahl said earlier that I read for you. Yes, I said that. وَأَخَذَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ أَبْصَارِهِمْ, and Allah took away their sight. Allah took away the sight of the swordsmen, including Abu Jahl. فَلَا يَرَوْنَهُ, they were not seeing him. فَجَعَلَ يَنْثُرُ ذَلِكَ التُّرَابِ عَلَىٰ رُؤُوسِهِمْ وَهُوَ يَتْلُو هَؤُلَاءِ الْآيَاتِ. So and then Muhammad start to pour the sand on the head of the swordsmen. the sand Muhammad fetched from the ground, he was pouring it on the head of the swordsmen. Because they were blind, they could not see. And he was reciting verses from Quran chapter number 36, which is known as Surah Yasin. Quran chapter number 36, which is known of its spiritual power. Muslims use it a lot. They use it and they slaughter animal. You know, at least those that are into spirituality aspect of Islam, they will tell you don't ever read Yasin without slaughtering or without pouring blood, that is killing an animal. We will talk about all this occultic aspect of the religion and the occultic aspect of Quran later. So he read Quran chapter number 36 verse 1 all the way to 9, and he was reading, and the verse was Yasin والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم, all the way to وجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون. Some people read it, or some version of recitation will say فجعلنا من بين أيديهم سدا ومن خلفهم سدا فأغشيناهم فهم لا يبصرون. And it simply means that فجعلنا, we have put in من بين أيديهم سدا, we have put in front of them bar, ومن خلفهم سدا, and behind them we put in bar. فأغشيناهم, and we've take away their sight, we've blinded them فهم لا يبصرون, and they cannot see. This verse, people that are into Islamic occultism, they use this verse a lot. They do it for so many people, and they use it to disappear. They use it to be invisible. I don't know if it really works. I've never done it. I don't know how it is done, but you hear them talking about it. To extent that some people will even tell you that if you don't want people to see you, recite it to a particular number and you will disappear, or you vanish, or people will come and they will not see you. Well, go offend people and try it and see how you will be beaten. You will see how you will be beaten. Because according to the Sirah, Muhammad that even read it, it really didn't work that much. Yes, that is just by the way. So this is how Muhammad came out from the house according to the Sirah book. Now, if this verse is there and this verse works, and it really takes the sight of the non-believers from seeing Muhammad, why didn't Muhammad give these verses to the weak ones, the mawless, the slaves that were tortured, agonized, and beaten and traumatized when they were suffering under their masters, so that their masters cannot see them? If this verse is really working, if this verse is really authentic and it works, it takes the sight of the non-believers away from the believers. Why didn't Muhammad give this verse to his followers, the weak ones, the slaves, the mawless that were tortured, the type of Ammar bin Yasir, the type of Bilal, all those Habab bin Earth, all those guys that were beaten, that some were even dead? Why didn't Muhammad give them this verse so that they will read it, so that the non-believers will not see them and they will be invisible? That is question number one. Question number two, people that flee Mecca, the refugees that left Mecca before Muhammad, the runaways that ran away from Mecca before Muhammad, they sneak out of Mecca. I repeat, they sneak out of Mecca. Those that did not sneak and wanted to go physically, broad daylight, they were stopped by their people. Why didn't Muhammad give those verses, this verse, to those people that wanted to flee Mecca, that were sneaking? Why didn't he give them the verse so that they can read it and they will be invisible and walk out of Mecca without the associates seeing them? Why? Yes, this is the thing. So don't go for somebody to go and deceive you that the verse will make you invisible. You will be beaten to the point of death. Don't be deceived. Now, so this verse is one of the verses. You know, in Hausa, they call the occultic activity of making one invisible in Hausa Layanzana. Layanzana. Laya is amulet or talisman. Talisman or amulet. That is Laya. in Hausa. Actually, it is not Hausa, it is Arabic that has been Hausaized. It is ayah, verse, and then Hausa people made it laya. So Zana is to vanish. So laya and Zana, the amulet of disappearing, or the amulet of invisible, or the talisman of disappearance, or the talisman of invisible. This verse, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ سُدًّا or سَدًّا وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ سَدًّا أو سُدًّا فَأَغْشَيْنَاهُمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُبْصِرُونَ is one of the verses of Laya and Zana. Don't joke with it. You will be beaten to the point of death. If indeed someone did it and it worked, then it's not the verse. It is occultic way. That is just by the way. So this is how Muhammad walked out of the house. Now come with me as I take you through the last point I want to make, and then we call it a day and we meet in the next video. Now Ibn Hisham's book, Ibn Hisham's book, volume 2, page 82 has this: Abu Bakr yasta'iddu lil hijrah. The first caliph Abu Bakr, the father of Aisha, is preparing for migration, for an away. Okay, now a whole lot has been said here, but let me read a little bit of it for you and let's see. This is what happened. There's a report that Ibn Ishaq brought that Urwa bin Zubayr reported that Aisha Mu'minin, the mother of believers, Aisha, that is the lady Muhammad married at the age of 6. Okay, and consummated the marriage at the age of 9. Qala, she said, she reported this. Okay, this means she was at 6 years when she reported this hadith, this narration. 6 years, because he married her in Mecca and consummated the marriage at Medina. Okay, now listen. Qala, she said, Kana la yukhti Rasulullah ayatiya bayta Abi Bakr ahada tarafa nahar. He says, Muhammad used to come to my father's house either in the morning or in the evening. Imma bukratan wa imma ashiya. That's what I said. Either in the morning or in the evening. Hatta idha kana dhalika al-yawm alladhi adina Allahu fihi li rasulihi fil hijra. Till the day that Allah wanted, the deity Allah wanted Muhammad to migrate, to run away from Mecca. What did Muhammad do that day? وخروج من مكة من ظهر قومه أتانا رسول الله بالهاجرة في ساعة كان لا يأتي فيها. Muhammad came to our house early, that he usually don't come to our house at that time. Okay? قال, she said, فلما رآه أبو بكر قال, when Abu Bakr saw him, Abu Bakr said, as he saw Muhammad came here at this time, إلا أمر حدث, then there must be something serious. قالت, Aisha said, فلما دخل تأخر له, when Muhammad entered the house, Abu Bakr wasted time without coming out. He was in his bedroom. فجلس رسول الله, and then Muhammad sat down waiting for him. وليس عند أبو بكر إلا أنا وأختي أسماء بنت أبو بكر. There was a mistake here, but I don't want to talk about it. We were the only two. Aisha is saying, myself and my sister Asma, we were with our father, Abu Bakr. Okay? فقال رسول الله, and then Muhammad said to Abu Bakr, أخرج عني من عندك. Let those that are with you to excuse us. I want to talk to you. فقال, and then he says, Abu Bakr says, إنما هما ابنتي. They are my daughters, so there's nothing to worry about. وما ذاك فداك أبي وأمي. فقال إن الله قد أذن لي في الخروج والهجرة. He said to Abu Bakr, Allah says I should leave Mecca. Yes, that's what he said. Allah says he should leave Mecca. Well, Allah asked him to leave Mecca without asking the rest of the Muslims to leave. Okay? Allah asked him to leave. Okay. So, فقال Abu Bakr, As-suhba ya Rasulullah. Abu Bakr said, let me go with you. As-suhba, companionship. As-suhba, companionship. Abu Bakr was asking for companionship. Companionship, well, the origin of the word linguistically means a friend. Sahib, a friend. A friend. But technically, it got to do with people that believed in Muhammad, related with him, and followed him. Technically. But linguistically, it means a friend. Technically, it means people that believed, or someone that believed in Muhammad, related with him, and followed him. That is, one is sahib, friend. Plenty is ashab, or ashab, companions or disciples. Okay, trust me, in Islamic books entirely, there is no consensus on who is a disciple of Muhammad. I take that again. In all the Islamic books, there is no consensus between Islamic translators, those that are called Islamic scholars. There is no consensus among them about who is a disciple of Muhammad. No, that is one. Number two, there is no concrete and accurate definition of a companion in Islamic religion or a disciple of Muhammad in Islamic religion. No, there is no accurate definition of a disciple of Muhammad in Islamic religion. That is two. Number three, the last point. Each and every sect of Islamic religion has their own understanding of companionship and disciples of Muhammad. As to that regard, I want to give you example. You see, the people and the followers of Muhammad that the Sunnis think they are companions or they are disciples of Muhammad, 99% of those people are not recognized by Shias as companions or disciples. I take that again. The people and the number of people that the Sunni sect of Islam accept as disciples of Muhammad, those people are not recognized to the Shia sect as disciples of Muhammad. Yes, including the first three caliphs, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman. Shias don't regard them. In fact, disciples according to Shias are countable. They are very few. So all the Abu Hurairas, all the Abdullah ibn Mas'uds, all the Abdurrahman ibn Sakhr Dawsis, all the Abu Bakrs, all the Umars, they are all useless according to Shias. Yes, let's put that one aside. I'm just giving you a gist. There is more to it. On top of that, the definition, the technical definition of a disciple of Muhammad and Islamic religion varies from one scholar to another, and it also varies from one speciality, one faculty of Islamic knowledge to the other. That is to say, the prophetic narrators have their own definition of disciples of Muhammad. That is Al-Muhaddithun. The traditional narrators, those that narrate the hadith, the prophetic saying of Muhammad, they have their definition of who is a disciple. Now, the Islamic jurists, fuqaha, they have their own definition, which is different from the previous one of who a disciple is. And Islamic legalists, usuliyun, they have their own definition of who is a disciple. This is a whole lot of hell in Islamic books. Who is a disciple and who is not in Islamic religion? You call this a religion from the source of life? You must be crazy. Let me conclude and then I take you to the next video. My producer has signaled me. Now, when he says, when Abu Bakr asked of the companionship or discipleness to follow Muhammad, and then Muhammad said, فَوَاللَّهِ مَا شَعَرْتُ قَبْلَ ذَلِكَ الْيَوْمِ أَنَّ أَحَدًا يَبْكِي مِنَ الْفَرْحِ حَتَّى رَأَيْتُ أَبُو بَكْرَ يَبْكِي يَوْمَئِذٍ. Aisha says, when Muhammad says he agreed from Abu Bakr to follow him, she saw her dad crying, tears of joy. Now listen to this point that I want to make to you so that we'll go to the next video. Now this is the point. For them to have their way to Mecca, they don't know, to Yathrib, they don't know the way. Abu Bakr then do not know the way. According to the book, Muhammad do not know the way. Fastajara Abdullah ibn Arqat. So they hired, listen, Muhammad and Abu Bakr hired Abdullah ibn Arqat. Abdullah ibn Arqat is an associator. He is idol worshipper. He is not a Muslim, but he knows the road very well to Yathrib. So they hired him. Allah couldn't show them the road. Another point to tell you that Allah does not exist. They hired human being to show them the road. His name is Abdullah bin Arqam. رجلا من بني دايل بن بكر وكانت أمه امرأة من بني سام أمر وكان مشركا. He is an associator. He's not a Muslim. Two Muslims, in fact, the mouthpiece of Allah and his disciple hired the filthy, nasty being, associator, mushrik, non-believer, to show them the way to Yathrib, and Allah allowed it. And yet, on the day of resurrection, Allah will burn this guy. Allah waited for him to direct Muhammad and show Muhammad the way, lead Muhammad to Yathrib. After that, Allah will burn him in hell. Nonsense and foolish religion. Yadulluhuma ala tariq, so that he will show them the way. Fadafa ilayhi rahilatayhima, and they gave him their horses to go and keep for them. Fakanata indahu yarayahuma limi'adihima. They gave him the horse, the two horses that they're going to use for him to keep and feed the horses for them. So Muhammad is out of his house. He's in the house of Abu Bakr. They are preparing to set off, get out of Medina as refugees, runaways from Mecca to Yathrib. Follow me to the next video as I take you through the way to Yathrib. You still believe the source of life is behind these garbages? You must be crazy. The descendant of Thoth, the record keeper, the fire-breathing being, African prophet, I say to you.
Ano kwamo mienka na awodi nipa pina ekwate timu pao amani pampempema wale agu odia sampa spiritual and herbal center awo womo yade se wombe mu wanya basisi a yade bi tise stroke gonorrhea anabama waye mre e wampamu low sperm count womo wano aduro tatahwe ene gisem ne se seba ne sunsum nsem a womo tenete se ye sunsum aware anasa yare bi ne yade amawo pampabone anabo ana wanya abai amane e court case wobetu charge osisi a enam omadwuma panti ni pampempem ene be fo kofie ekoye sunsum nyuma edemom se mosini ene enzimani akabom dia sunsum niema asie betu obi age wukunu anasa woyere awaresem adwumasem akwantuom nsem ni nyina aya sumasem fa bedan odia sampa spiritual and herbal center obehu yan
New Koforidua ejoso ne konongo infinfin aye Ashanti region ehon ma number aye didi dwuma no aye 054 3304976 and I say 020 134 0421 054 330 4976 and I say 020 134 0421.
Odia Sampa Spiritual and Herbal Center. Ye be diwa samamao.